choice.
Right.
It doesn't mean, if I do the vaccine, it doesn't mean that you should do the vaccine.
Right, or lose your job.
Or lose your job, or right. Or be an outsider just because you didn't do the vaccine. It cannot be
And
mandatory.
the children, they're going after our children.
That's disgusting.
I know.
They're going after our children.
Not only that,
It's been proven that the children can get sick and die from this vaccine.
And it's still communicable
Going
even
after
if you're
our children.
vaccinated.
Causes more harm.
I think,
Yes, exactly.
parent,
We have to
listen,
put a stamp to this.
what they do, so pandemic showed to the Dems that they can have a total control of the people, and that's a huge, and they loved it. Just imagine, hey, wear the masks, take the masks off, put the masks on. That's crazy. But they felt the power that they have over the people. Power and control, exactly, that they have over the people. They loved it, and they don't want to lose it. They want to keep that power using the pandemic. There's no more pandemic. Just cancel all mandates, that's it. As easy as that. There's no more pandemic. Now, thank you for reminding about the schools. How about that? That teachers are asking children, who do you feel, boy or girl? A child was already born, a boy or a girl. Why do you ask this question? And leave it to the parents.
Really sick.
If the child
Sick.
doesn't understand if he's a boy or a girl, this is not of your business.
not
This is not of school business.
It's not sick, it's evil.
Children, that's why they don't care whether you're a boy or a girl. This is all indoctrination to take your children. And they're going after Jewish schools too.
Right.
My God, they're going after the Jewish school because what they teach, they want to control their curriculum.
All the parochial schools, not just Jewish.
Like, but, you know, and so what are you going to do? How are you going to stand up against these tyrants?
We're gonna fight them.
Look at Bob Wilson.
I would need, to change something, we would definitely need a majority. We will need a lot of conservative and Republicans winning the seats. If we would be so extremely lucky that Lee Zeldin will become our governor, things will be much easier. I think it's going to be like a revolution in a good way. Revolution in a good way, right? If there will be just one seat or two seats in the assembly from New York, there's nothing we can do. I mean, we will do everything that is in our power to do so.
Use the bully pulpit, speak about it, try to get...
Exactly, absolutely, and having a radio station, I can do that. That's the most popular radio station in the Russian community, the only one on FM dial. So I'm already doing that, even though I wasn't elected. I'm already doing through my station. My hosts, my journalists, they're already doing that, talking about the nonsense and the absence of common sense and stuff like that. And it just will give me more power, to continue doing what I'm already doing. That's it.
Well, the people, I was speaking to someone who lives in Texas. She's a real health, Gary No, and she works with Gary No and everything, and I was talking about other things. And she said, you live in a communist state. This is a it's communism. And people walk around, she's in Park Slope. My children live in Park Slope. And they walk around like, oh yes, like you just mentioned, like Trump, they'll kill you. But I mean, the idea the schools, my grandchild goes to, the public schools. And
Right.
they want to have children vaccinated. This is to control us.
Yeah.
They're, what they do, they're demonizing it. This is what they do with our children. They're trying to demonize Trump. They're trying to demonize Republicans. They're trying to demonize with the abortion laws, right?
Oh my God.
And not even going into the details. So did you see that ad, the TV ad, right?
Yeah.
This is just clear demonizing.
Yep.
They're taking Zeldin's words from the interview, from the contest, right? Not mentioning what he said before or after, right? And just using it to demonize him. That's it. And I'm sure there should be I'm not about strict laws, but there should be something done with the law when advertising is lying about the candidates.
Right.
That's not right. This is not right.
Sue them for defamation, no? Media is taking
You
control.
won't have any ads that way.
There should be a law, they should be debating also.
Yeah, exactly.
They only have one debate, yeah.
Debates,
It's
or
supposed to be more
Right,
You
debates.
know, what is this? I don't want to debate, I don't have to debate.
I disagree.
What is this?
Yeah, when is she having a debate?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, whatever, somewhere on state.
You gotta fit
There's one
it out.
debate on Tuesday.
You don't need to debate them.
I invited my opponents on my show.
Yeah, they're doing one.
They didn't respond.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you have to do what they're doing, like, you have to
Right.
say, what are you thinking? Why are you thinking that it's okay for this government to vaccinate your child? Do you want to have that choice whether your child is, you know?
Right, well, of course. I mean, it's easy to talk with an audience that is already conservative, right?
Right.
It was interesting. We walked with a Senate candidate from Staten Island and Brooklyn, Joe Tyrone. So we walked around Manhattan Beach, greeting people. Amazing response. People were like, we saw hope in their eyes. The first question was like, "Are you a Democrat or Republican?" Of course we're Republican. Oh, thanks God! That's how they reacted. So there was a small party on the terrace, on the front yard, and young people drinking wine, chatting this and that, and we just said, "Hey, hi." So we started talking. They were Democrats, and we started, discussing the problems, the issues, this and that. I think we converted them. I think so, because, when we said goodbye, they said, "Guys, you're absolutely
In
right. This is
Manhattan
nonsense." Manhattan Beach,
You know
yes.
Russia?
No, they were in Russia.
Peruski,
They were in
different.
Russia.
Different, because I know some for the most.
So, yeah, we just talked it. So we need to talk. Conservatives are already conservatives. We need to talk to Dems. We need to talk to these people. We need to show them this is common sense, this is not common sense. This is black and this is white,
The problem is the media. It's a big
I know.
problem.
I know.
And the money to Ukraine.
Who under 40 watches the TV?
I mean, they're
Come
going
on.
to ask me if I want
Yeah,
to
but-
Who do you know who's under 40 watches TV?
I don't know how much TV, but I'm just saying, people do.
They're online.
Social media, yeah, but online
Well,
is
they
this.
watch whatever online.
Well, this is a tricky
Yes,
one.
that's where it's coming from.
This is a tricky one
That's
because
what it is.
How tricky.
It's on the media.
I'll tell you why.
I mean,
Instagram.
So my borders, there are a lot of Ukrainians
Yeah.
in
My
my
grandparents.
district. Yeah, there are a lot of Ukrainians. A lot of Ukrainians listening to my station.
Are you also online? I guess you're streaming? Because
Yeah.
most people, I was just trying to tell the woman here that most people that I know of that are under 40, under 30,
Mhm.
not myself, I still listen and watch old media.
Right.
A lot of people are doing things online, IG, and you have Snapchat, things like that. So something I always try to remind people is you need to get your message out, and I'm sure you already do, and other people that think like you. And that's why I think the Republicans and conservatives, independents, are probably doing better. If you look at the so-called polls,
Mhm.
if we can even believe them,
Yeah.
because at one time, when Facebook first started, I was telling people, I said, look, you guys are getting outflanked because, old-fashioned TV and radio, whatever, a lot of younger people I know, they don't even bother, they don't even have a freaking cable
Well, there's
subscription.
let me tell you about the difference between the old-fashioned TV and radio. So TV, yes, because you need to be subscribed, this and
Right.
that. Now, talking about the radio has the highest accessibility, and nothing really changed since that time. So like 98% of Americans are listening to the radio. Why? Because you start the car, you hear the radio. It's very easy. You can't do the same thing with the television. So in order to listen to something but the radio in the car, let's say a podcast or something, you have to connect the phone to the car, you have to stream, you have to do this and that, someone calls you
Most younger people, like my niece and nephew, they're putting the iPhone in the vehicle when they're driving. And that's what they're
Yeah, of course,
listening
I
to
mean, many people do that.
Spotify, Apple.
Many people do that. But again, there is nothing easier than just to start the car, and do nothing, not connecting anything, not pressing any buttons, just start it and you hear the radio. Just the same station you left when you turn off the car. So accessibility is an amazing thing, and
That was when I was a kid. I used
this
to-
is why it still works. This is why it still works. This is why
It's also a
radio still
problem
works.
on the campuses, the colleges.
Oh, right, sure.
Well,
they're
Sure,
communists
sure,
over there
sure.
anyway.
No, radio is still
Out of
very,
control.
very
Freaking
strong.
communists over there.
The radio is very strong. It's very
You
strong.
can't send your kid to a college, it's out
Go to
of control.
Oneonta, or go to Binghamton, whatever, Brooklyn College, the little red schoolhouse, you know.
So, I'm sorry, getting back to the war question, the
Yeah.
war between Russia and Ukraine. Now, so, yes, people are approaching to me, Ukrainians, and asking, hey, Michael, so I understand you're Republican, but like, why the Republicans are against financing Ukraine and fight with Russia?
Because it doesn't go to the military, that's why it's going into people's pockets.
So, first of all, not every Republican is against. Let me tell you something. Not every Republican is against. Secondary, I'm telling them, listen, there's something should be done before the war started, and it wasn't done. And I think if Donald Trump would be a president right now, there probably wouldn't be a war.
It'd be different.
It will be different, right? So we're not talking about that something that is going on now, but think what might be done if, you know, the history would have another turn. Again, it's a very tricky question for me.
But
Yeah.
once the war, they kept poking the bear, and they could have negotiated. There are a lot of people in Ukraine had to deal with the Russians and the Americans. I spoke to some, but I'm saying that, you know, basically like the Rebbe said once, you know, you negotiate, you don't go to war, you keep talking, but Biden, all these people who are vested in the arms, they want war.
I cannot agree with you on the negotiation. You cannot negotiate with Putin. I'm telling you, as a guy from Russia, Putin only understands power. He's the person who only understands power. He doesn't understand any negotiations. And
People jump out windows around them.
yeah.
The whole reason why Putin's in power
Sounds like the
now
Clintons.
is because he went against Yeltsin. Yeltsin wanted to join NATO. In 1998, NATO actually offered Russia to join, and Yeltsin was thinking about it, and the hardliners were totally against it because, you know, they were giving in to the West. So that's what they couldn't do.
Yes. I agree. And but again, listen, I'm running from the 45th district, 45th Assembly district. Don't forget that, right? It's very interesting to talk about this big
States,
things,
not federal.
right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing really, I can do about that. So I'm trying to do what I can do. What's in my power?
The
Yes.
thing is, it's not that, it's just that to express that we have not, that our money is going here,
It's not fair. I agree. It's not fair.
no, it's not fair.
That's more
But
of
then
a-
we have to
more
do
of-
something to
Yeah,
express. we have
that's
to-
more of a congressional level.
No,
where-
no, but we as
Well-
citizens have to go out on the street, we have to organize
Yeah.
and go out on the street and say, we don't want World War III in our
no.
backyard.
Unfortunately, the
And
World
you
War
have to see,
Unfortunately, the World War III started. That's what I think.
Look, just for example, of World War III, the New York City emergency broadcast, they literally said, an event of a nuclear war. Did you see that a couple of months ago?
Go to your basement?
Yeah.
They produced an emergency broadcast about what do you do in a nuclear war. That should speak volumes. And also the $290 million in medicine that the federal government just produced, that like for radiation or whatever. What is going on in this bizarre world?
What I agree with is the whole burden of the war should not go towards the United States only.
Right.
It's the whole world.
NATO.
It's
But
the
this
whole
makes a
world.
difference. We are affected by it and it does.
Of course, yeah, I totally understand.
They care,
But
then maybe the rest of the
Well,
world follows.
let's speak about what Michael.
Right, exactly.
Here in the 45th, and that is this.
The
Yes.
mandate
Michael,
Correct.
Michael.
Correct.
Oh, you mentioned that. Michael, what would you do to stop, I know it's hard for the Assembly, it's more of a state level, but on the, well, we're all over the place with the crime. You see the subway crime up 41%. Look, for example, I have a 1987 station wagon, right? I have a couple cars. And remember when crime was in the 1980s in New York City, how bad it was, and in the early 90s and all that? Well, someone said, hey, let's go back in time. Let's break into that 1987 station wagon. They broke my little vent window in the back, you know, those little windows, and got into the car and rifled through it for 10 minutes while in 4 in the morning. And the way he did it was, he was walking with a wheelchair. He walked with a wheelchair, and he used that as a shopping cart, and he went to my damn car. I don't know what he took, but he took something, because he came out with a bag. And this is 1987 again? I mean, what the heck is going on there? So now I have to find a little small window in a junkyard to make sure the tint, make sure the tint is the right tint, and try to hunt for that stupid little glass that's about $160-something. So, and then when I did a police report, they said, well, you know, I said, "Do you want to do fingerprints?" No, if it's above $1,000 in damage, then we could do maybe fingerprints. So basically, they will do nothing, because we are all handcuffed. The city's handcuffed, the NYPD is handcuffed because of the leadership that controls us. That is City Hall and your city council.
And the state.
Well, the City Hall, to a certain extent, kind of says the right thing on certain things, but not a lot, you know, but he doesn't back it up with action. The city council, on the other hand, is 100% psychotic, okay? And they truly are bizarre with the no bail and all that, and especially our wonderful governor. So you on a state level, what would you do? I mean, it's kind of hard, but what would you do? I think it's a bully pulpit thing.
But I think it's extremely easy. Don't get people out of the jail if they committed a crime. That's easy as that. I mean, how you can... The judges, so the judges today, they don't know, they understand, you know, they're real people, they understand.
What's your opponent's record on no cash bail?
He voted.
He was supportive?
Yeah. He did.
No, I don't know. I know very little.
He did.
Yeah, highlight that.
He did. I mean, he did it as a package for like other stuff, so, and it was anonymous, so, you know, it's not public information, right? But, but he did. And there are dams that not as extreme as others.
If you go upstate.
But they have no choice.
They vote with the leadership.
Exactly, they vote with the exactly.
Leadership is the one that does this horror show.
Just like the House.
Right, hey, I know my local state senator or state assembly, he's kind of conservative, he's a Democrat, they're the same. I don't care if he speaks a nice game, they're the same because they keep voting for that same leadership, of that psychotic leftist agenda.
Just like Kaminsky.
And that leftist agenda, oh, he's a nice, sane guy. No. Now, if there's a Republican in that spot, you think he's going to go along with the leftist agenda? Not really, I don't think so.
No.
So,
The system cracked during summer 2020.
yeah.
I think one of the things that people
When the mayor basically told the protesters, hey guys, you can do whatever you want, you can burn police cars, you just do whatever you want, and the police do not do anything, do not arrest them. That's where psychologically, you know, first of all, these people, they stopped respecting police. They understood that you know, that police doesn't do anything. And this is what makes them committing crime. Because nobody wants to be arrested, you know?
Qualified immunity. Makes the police officers not want to do their jobs. Because if they do their jobs, they're going to be sued.
Exactly.
Personally.
Exactly.
And these morons that people stay home, I'm not going to vote, it doesn't mean nothing. Oh, it's all rigged. Oh, vote on election day only, whatever. Get out and vote, everyone, and tell her and drag people by the hair and vote. Because you know what? Because this type of stupidity is continuing because people, it doesn't matter, or I'm not voting, you know what? I'm going to write in a candidate. Write in a candidate. What is wrong with you people? You're writing a candidate that's gonna make a difference? It's not gonna make a damn difference. You vote for the Republican. Well, I don't agree with him on certain things, but okay, the Democrat's gonna win. Do you agree anything with the Democrats doing? No, not at all. So why would you write in a candidate? Because, there's people that do the fringe thing and they like,